gosh, this stuff smells awful. Jesus. Alright, you know sometimes you start a new project and you've got a pretty good idea of how it's gonna go? Yeah, this isn't one of those. This Jeep just failed its emissions testing. Failed on a P0455, which is a large evaporative emissions leak. Could be a bunch of different stuff. So we're gonna have to dig into this thing. Could be anything from a dry rotted hose all the way up to the check valve and the tank being bad. Either way, I got a new smoke tester. Hopefully that can help us diagnose this. I've never used one of those before, so this is going to be a new experience for me. Let's get to it, because this thing's not gonna fix itself. Basically, I'm just going to take a little piece of hose here. Got a piece that fits over the top of this Schrader valve, and it's got some threads on it, so I'm going to kind of just loosely thread it on there. The idea being that then the end of our smoke tester can fit snug down in there so we don't have any leaks right at the source. And now we should be able to turn our smoke tester on and see if we have any obvious leaks somewhere. Let's see what happens. Go down and take a look at where the charcoal canister is. Well, I don't claim to be an expert, but that certainly looks like a large leak to me. It's either the inlet or the outlet right at the charcoal canister. Driver's side, right behind the rear tire. I think that's just a piece of soft line, so let's get that swapped out and hopefully that's all our problem is. See if I can get this hose off here without breaking the plastic hard line. Actually cut this off. Let me get a knife. Sometimes it's important to just take your time. You don't want to rush. If you rush something, you might end up damaging something worse, actually slowing yourself down. I learned that lesson the hard way a few too many times. Yeah, perfect. Alright, so this is the old piece of line. It was split pretty bad. Now it's definitely leaking. Now, is this the only problem? I don't know, but we're going to find out. I have this other piece of fuel line that I had on the shelf, and it looks to be about the right size, at least on one end. Now, this is molded, so I'm going to have to see if we can bend this around and mold it to fit, and also stretch out the larger end to get it to fit over the nipple on the charcoal canister. Let's get this cut down to size and see if we can get it to fit. I'm thinking if I heat this up with the heat gun and kind of mold this to fit the size of the shape rather, of the old hose. while, let this cool down before I take that bolt out. And it should stretch the hose out and at least get it close enough that we can get it over the nipple on that charcoal canister. Stretching out that hose definitely made a difference. I don't think that would have gone on otherwise. I've seen those pliers that are specially designed for these hose clamps. Been toying around with getting myself a set. If you've used them, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Are they worth the money? This is just a little too long. They're gonna have to trim that up a skosh. Now this hose is just a little bit bigger than the old one. One size smaller hose clamp. Slide this back off and we'll go back to the bin of hose clamps. That I think is gonna work, but it's gonna be tight. These compression like spring style hose clamps I'm not the biggest fan of because it's like they're never the right size for what I want. This one's a little too small to get back over the hose. Alright, I went back to the original size hose clamp I had, but I pinched it so that it's a little smaller now. Third time's the charm, right? Now, truth be told, unfortunately, the evap problem was only half the battle here. Last time I went to go drive the Cherokee, went to go pull it out of the driveway, hit the brake pedal went all the way to the floor. Ended up blowing out a rear wheel seal. I think we've got the evap problem licked with finding that leak, but to be able to test it, we've got to drive it, right? So now let's dive into doing everyone's favorite, drum brakes. Now it's been a minute since these came off of this Jeep, so this could be a battle. Apparently not. I'll take the wins where I can get them because I think getting this off is going to be a battle, and you can already see all the brake fluid that's coming out from around the lug nuts, or the wheel studs rather. She is crusty. Looks like we might be getting lucky here, y'all. Check that out. That is unexpected. That is rough looking. That doesn't look great. That doesn't look great at all. Now the other thing is hopefully I can find a picture online. This side kind of falling apart a little bit, and I suspect the other side is going to be the same. There's so many little springs and everything in here at drum brakes, so it's kind of nice to have one side that you can use as a reference how all this goes back together. We'll have to see what we've got to work with. Either way, that wheel seal in there is what we're after. There's a lot of goo in here. Let me get you in here so you can see. Alright, so I pulled the passenger side off just to make sure there wasn't anything else I was going to need. I'm going to try and reuse the drums and the pads that are already in there. We do have to run to the parts store to pick up some hardware. So let's go. Alright, good morning. It is the next day. Ended up taking the night off last night after we went to go pick up some parts. So let's get back to it. First thing this morning, we're going to go ahead, pull all the old hardware off the driver's side drum, get that blown out wheel seal out, and then work on kind of assessing, rebuilding everything. Let's get to it. think we got the driver's side all buttoned up. This is my first time really diving into drum brakes, so we'll have to see if there's anything that we missed that we'll have to go back and address. But let's go ahead, get the passenger side knocked out, put everything back together, take it for a test drive, and see how it does. Have one of these power bleeders and you work on doing your brakes, highly recommend. It makes it a lot easier. Alright y'all, just got back from the test drive. Gotta say, it seemed to go pretty well. Check engine light did not come back on. Now that could take a few cycles of the engine warming up and cooling down before that would come back. It kind of depends on when the evap system runs its test. Brakes are also working great, so that's always a good thing. Excited to have this Jeep back in service. Gonna drive it the rest of this week, see if that check engine light comes back or not. Let me know what I should do with this. Drop a comment down there. Obviously, this Jeep needs a little bit of everything. It needs painted, the rear suspension needs gone through, it needs some love. Jeep Cherokees are really where I found my love for cars. It's what my parents had when I was a kid growing up. That's what really started the whole Jeep obsession. So let me know what I should do with this thing. I already have a built XJ, so I don't really want to do a full build on this, but I'm kind of thinking maybe a modern restoration daily driver. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments what I should do with this Jeep next, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.